Black Supremacy.
Blog Talk Radio.
Black Supremacy. You listening to King Noble, Black Supremacy Speaks Radio. I want to thank you all for calling in and listening. Tonight I'm doing a particular show, series that I want to call The Truth and Nothing But the Truth. This is part one of The Truth and Nothing But the Truth. So there will be a series to this show. You're listening to King Noble Black Supremacy Speaks Radio. I hope you've already joined my website just to stay in stream of what's going on, because there are a few people who have joined that will definitely get all messages of everything that's going on. Like they'll be the first ones to get notifications. Like we don't hit everybody. Definitely people who have joined the website will definitely get a notification. So you definitely want to make sure you're a member, because it makes it easy for you to get those notifications. Now, some of the people were members of the older website. They were members maybe a year ago or even a few months ago, before we had our hostings changed over and our service changed over. So you may try to log into your account at www.kingnobleblackrulership.com, and you might not be able to get in or access your account. All you have to do is sign up. Same email address that you had, just sign up again, sign up over, because we were banned and kicked out of our old host and server for the radical information and content that we were putting up on the website. They just kicked me out. Just the hell with my contract. It didn't even matter. They were just like, we don't want to broadcast this information that you have. We can't use our service for this. So I had to find another new hosting and new servers for the new website, and that's what's going on now. So it will require you to, once you join a new website, to sign up again in order to sign in. And there is a free way that you can sign up. There's some different options there. One is free with sponsorship interruptions for sponsorship requests. That's the free one. And then otherwise you can subscribe and have uninterrupted use of the website weekly, monthly, or yearly. So make sure that you do sign up. And like I said, there is a free option on there. Make sure you sign up and become a member. That way you can get all the notifications and everything that you need, so that you can be the first to know that everything is going on, all the new information we get, everything we distributed, everything that's coming out. You'll be the first to know about it, because you'll be on that priority list by being a member. So I challenge you to go ahead tonight. If you haven't, go ahead and join the website, www.kingnobleblackrulership.com. If you're already a member, just go ahead, put that time in, and re-sign up. Your donations do help us push this movement. We're operating purely off your donations. Your donations is our fuel. Your allegiance, your pledges, your resources do help us continue to show. That's the few that we run off of. So you can donate to help and show your support to help us keep this thing going, to expand this thing. Put your resources into it, and you can do that at the website through whatever subscription that you choose, or you can just donate directly to help us out at www.donatetoKingNoble.com. Now, that just leads me into what I want to talk about first, is capitalism in the conscious community. I think that's a subject that needs to go on, that needs to be discussed. This whole money thing and wealth in the conscious community, and what should we do about money? What's the position on money? And I'm sure I've went over this 1,000 times, but sometimes you got to keep talking to it really sinks in. And sometimes there's new perspectives that's added on things, new dimensions of how we can look at things, pre-existing things, as we continue to deliberate on them. So I want to start off talking about capitalism and money. I think that's a very important area, because it's coming up right now in the conscious community. I see a lot of people talking about that. So let me deal with it. Of course, you know, money is not our salvation. Money is not going to save us. The whole idea of economic freedom is an illusion. There's no such thing as economic freedom. While there is some extra privilege for individuals who have a little bit more money than others, they may experience some status, some liberation or liberty that comes along with their status. The whole idea of economic freedom is just not true. No matter how the amount of money that you have is not going to guarantee freedom for a community. It's not going to guarantee freedom for a group. It's going to take a consciousness awakening. It's going to take a shift in consciousness for us to cause change in the world. I could have $1 billion right now, and I could take my $1 billion and say, you know what? I want to make sure that everybody in the community, in the hood, get a vegetarian meal. And I'm going to spend billions of dollars, just say $1 million, to make sure I feed everybody in all the hoods everywhere around the United States, everywhere the poor people are at. I want to prepare vegetarian meals. Every poor hood you can think of. Liberty City, Bankhead, Inglewood, wherever you want to go around the United States. Let's just talk about poverty and just feeding everybody. Now I go ahead and I say I want to prepare this healthy meal, and I get all the food and everything that we need, and I got all the money that I need, and I go and set this up, and I go out there. Now a lot of people are gonna be like, I don't eat vegetarian food. I'm not eating no vegetarian. If it ain't no meat, I don't want it. I gotta have some meat. So just because I had the money and I had the resources and I went out and did it, that didn't mean people supported it. Because wherever their level of consciousness is what they're willing to embrace. So growth is the equation to growth, economic distribution in proportion to consciousness expansion. Meaning that I can't have more money and resources more than I've changed the consciousness of how, in the minds of people of whom I've desired to distribute it to. If I haven't changed their consciousness, there's nowhere for the material to go, because they're still locked into the same reality that they're in. So there's going to take a consciousness revolution and a consciousness shift. Don't let people just tell you that if we get better food and more food get distributed due to us having more money, that our consciousness will change. It's just not true. And the same thing works for weapons. Say we had a nuke, and say the black community right now, a nuke was just put in their hands tomorrow. So here's some nuclear power. What y'all gonna do with it? We press the bomb on ourselves and blow ourselves the hell up just to prove who we are in that moment. Because without a consciousness shift, nothing materially is going to transpire. That's why black supremacy, it's ultimately a consciousness movement. We spend most of our energy and time spreading our message and challenging old ideas, traditional ideas, and stagnant perceptions of reality that prevent us from growing as a people. That's what most of our time is spent at, reaching people, trying to catapult them out of the matrix, trying to cause them to have a paradigm shift with the information that we're distributing, teaching and lecturing, and spreading this information, and being an example of how a different dimension or different way of existing can manifest effectively. We exemplifying that, we spreading that message, because if their consciousness does not change, if they still live in fear of the white man, if they still support the white man and support white supremacy in their hearts, their minds, and their soul, if they still believe in the reality that was created for them by their enemy, if they still have his value systems and perceive themselves and their own people out of his dynamic, still limited in fear, lack, doubt, and limitation, it doesn't matter what happens materially. No armed revolution is going to save them. No economic revolution is going to save them. No green garden, green thumb, going green movement is going to save them. No health movement is going to save them unless they have a consciousness shift. That's a fact. So as far as money goes, as resources goes, you're going to need a consciousness shift. That's why we put a lot of our resources that people do donate into us being able to more effectively spread this message. Because otherwise, you can become rich in white supremacy. Or you can use your resources to effectively abolish the consciousness that holds white supremacy in place. You can economically support a consciousness revolution, or you can get rich under the codes that keep white supremacy in place. You can become wealthy and prosper within that reality, and you can sustain it through your value system of wealth, how you perceive wealth, you can maintain that reality. That's a fact. Or you can aid in the destruction of that reality. Now, the issue I have with people making money is a lot of times it's just individualism. People are they have some value system of creating wealth individually for their family, for their household, and they have a future plan and they have goals in becoming wealthy as an individual within society. There's nothing revolutionary about that. It's very typical for people to have these type of goals and desires. It's a typical thing. Somehow they have confused and think that it's something revolutionary about them getting rich as an individual. That may be an individual revolution if they grew up in poverty, but they will actually, when they become wealthy, be added to the other list of wealthy black people that are part of a community that will remain under white supremacy as a whole. An individual's economic growth will not guarantee political or social change for the masses of black people. There's no guarantee. It's not going to happen. Individual wealth means that another individual is wealthy. So a lot of people say, well, you know, I don't want to live off the grid or live uncomfortable or live without this or that. I want to make sure me and my family have this and that. We want to live comfortable in this life. We want to survive. Okay, that's honesty. That's one category. That's just total honesty. You're not about revolutionary change. You're just about maintaining the comfort of yourself, expanding the comfort and luxury of your own independent self, of your own individual self or your family, and that's your goal and your focus. That's nothing revolutionary about that, but at least you're honest there, that no matter how many of our people are suffering under capitalism and under the brutality and the tyranny of white supremacy, that your focus and meditation as an individual is creating comfort for your own individual self in the midst of all that. At least you're honest, though. The second group says, you know what, I think that me getting money and having a job, working under white supremacy, building up my money so that I can invest in this, that, or the other, that's a more effective solution in order to fight against white supremacy. That's another group. That's group two. I want to tell you that group two is really the same as group one that's lying to themselves. Group one says, I just want to live comfortably in this life, and I want to just achieve economic growth and economic wealth in this society. Group two is saying, you know what, I really want to cause a revolution. I'm mad at what's going on in society. I want to see change and social change in the world that we're living in. But I feel like the only way that I'm going to be able to get that is by getting a job, getting money, getting resources, taking care of my own family, and somehow be in a financial position in order to make change on an economic level. That's group two, but it's the same as group one. Exact same. The interesting thing about group two, though, is with all the economics that we gain as the so-called business people, as the so-called black entrepreneurs, as the revolutionary buy only black, support only black businesses, that none of these entities, not even the buy only black, let me throw into those people that even work and even got a job for the white man system. Let's throw them in there too. You got a job for the white man, but really you consider yourself spooked to step out the door. You're just trying to survive yourself and get a little money to do something to help others. And the other one, the black entrepreneur, only buy black, only deal with black business, only support black. I'm a black entrepreneur. I'm going to build my own money and build my own resources as a black business. The problem with both of those groups is that I would just say group two, which includes both categories, the entrepreneur and the black person working for themselves with a so-called revolutionary agenda or revolutionary motive. The problem with that is that money never gets back into a revolution. That's the problem with it. They say, well, if I work, I'll make this money and I'll be able to support a true revolutionary movement. I'll be able to support black militancy and we'll have some economic backings behind it. But honestly, that money never backs the black revolution. It stays within the circle of the black entrepreneur, black business over the white consumeristic reality. or white retail, white wholesale, whatever, Indian wholesale, commerce. It stays within that category. It never gets to the black revolutionaries or the black militants in order to have an stage an effective propaganda or political or conscious or militant or armed revolution at all. It never gets to them. It stays right there within the black, from black businesses by black. Because they're not trying to give black, they're trying to buy black. And what substantiates their reality of them supporting other people in business, not supporting other people that are trying to cause a revolution against white corporate America, trying to cause a revolution against white supremacy. They're not going to support them. They're going to make sure they keep buying black and keep the money circulating within the black business world. That's the problem. Then your working person says, I'm just going to work a job because I find that to be, most effective. But that person ends up feeding their money back to the white supremacy. They honestly know, if they really assess the amount of money they're making, the resources they're getting, they know, each and every single one of them, I don't think any one of them will argue this, more of their money goes right back to white supremacy in order to maintain their position, whether occupation, travel, clothes, whatever, that more of their resources go right back into white supremacy than they have ever given to any black militant group ever. They would have to sit there and admit that. But they said that they got a job because they would have a more effective position to help out a black revolution. And they think that trying to wage an economic revolution with their amount of money will be more effective. That's the same person with a job. You say, you know what, quit your job and just come on and get 100% on a revolution. It doesn't even have to be about money. That the white man is going to suck more of your energy trying to work for him than you will be able to give physically to support an actual revolution yourself. That's a fact. The white man will suck you harder than you will be able to effectively help the black revolution. So, just quit that job, come and be on the front line of a revolution. Now they come get on the front line and they recognize something else. Wait a minute. That it was about comfort. That I can't be on the front line on a revolution. It's not that I saw that getting a job as being a more effective position to fight and support revolution, that I actually have been pampered, that I actually am very comfortable with certain type of luxuries and amenities that the white supremacy offer me, whether it's entertainment, clubbing, cigarettes, alcohol, whatever type of consumeristic addiction that I have, I have to work a petty job or be an employee or work for the white man in order to make sure that I'm able to have these habits and create the type of comfortable world that I have as an individual. That's more significant than causing a revolution. So really, that's my first priority, but then I'll just give a little bit of resources. I'll give 0.1% of what I make in order to help a militant group. But the real gist of what I'm doing is trying to maintain a certain level of comfort.